So with the Vital Bracelet-B having released a few months ago, which is the better Vital Bracelet, the original or the B? Let's discuss.
It's morphin' time!
Hello, this is Soundout here, and today we're talking about the Vital Bracelet. Bandai's Vital Bracelet line's been going on for a while. It started with Digimon, and I covered what are the best Digimon DIM cards for the Vital Bracelet in a separate video. The DIM cards essentially load the characters to these bracelets, so that is definitely a factor when purchasing stuff, and I made a video talking about what I thought were the best ones to get. And now let's talk about the Vital Bracelet itself, because Bandai's upgraded Vital Bracelet-B was released in November of 2022 in Japan. While it hasn't seen an English release yet, it's pretty easily obtainable on most websites. So it's actually worth talking about, is this a better upgrade than the Vital Bracelet? Well, the reason why this video has taken 4 months to come out is not only because I was working on other things like my Rundown series where I cover a year's worth of toys at once. I'll stop plugging videos now. The actual Vital Bracelet-B didn't win me over completely, like right away. I got it and I was like, wow, I'm getting new 3DS vibes. If anyone remembers that. There was the 3DS and the new 3DS, and the new 3DS had a better processor and a couple extra buttons, but you kind of wondered, why was it worth, why did it cost more? And, you know, I still bought one because I wanted the thumbstick. Anyways, the point is that this is a mild upgrade to this. It's a version 2 for sure, but it's not like a brand new fixes all the problems with this. So that's why I wanted to make this video, and I've been trying to figure out how to go about it. Plus, I've been having trouble figuring out the battle system in this, and I only finally cracked the code a couple days ago. Which, yes, if I watched other people's videos, I probably would have figured it out first, but I was busy doing things on this channel, so I didn't do that. But in general, I'm not going to be explaining the ins and outs on how to operate these, so much as comparing and contrasting to give you a start as to whether you want a Vital Bracelet / Vital Hero or a Vital Bracelet-B. And that's what this video is about. Now, Digimon is not the only thing that the Vital Bracelet is done with. In fact, Bandai's tagline for the Vital Bracelet series is fitness with characters, not just Digimon. You can actually get cards for these devices for Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Tokyo Revengers, My Hero Academia, and Demon Slayer. And that's pretty cool because this is more than just a Digimon device, but more a Bandai owns the toy rights to these devices. And that's pretty cool because that means that if you're watching this video because you like Demon Slayer and are wondering what the heck the Vital Bracelet is, congratulations, I'm giving you a primer. But this won't be everything because this video would be too long otherwise. The general idea behind a Vital Bracelet is that you have a device that's worn on the wrist, which supposedly has a pulse meter. It's more like it's checking to see if you're wearing it meter, and you do activities and exercises that increase the stats of your characters, and you raise them and evolve them, sort of like Digimon, because, you know, it covers everything. And you actually unlock new characters by doing different activities in the Vital Bracelet. And so what's really fun about it is that you can kind of wear this in your daily life, and you can have, you know, the steps are counting, and the steps are causing your characters to go up, and you can evolve them further throughout certain points in time. And that's what I really enjoy about it. I'm usually wearing a Vital Bracelet most days, though I gotta say, at first I wasn't wearing the B as much. And that's what I want to talk about, because I think there's some great things about this that the B doesn't do, and there's some great things about this the original doesn't do. So let's get into it. First things first, I want to introduce both Vital Bracelets before we get into the details. And if you want to get a jump ahead and just get into what I think about it, there are chapter times in the description as well as the timeline of the video. So if you don't feel like you need the primer stuff, you can skip on ahead. I'll give you permission this time. And in general, I do want to make this a good primer. So if you have any questions of things I didn't cover, leave them in the comments down below. Hit the like button while you're down there. But let's get to it. We're going to talk about the Vital Bracelets, then the Vital Bracelet-Bs, talk about what's good about both of them, and whether or not I think the new app is worthwhile. Spoiler alert, it's not, and we'll talk about that as well. Let's do it! The original Vital Bracelet was released in black with the Pulsepon DIM card in Pulse City. It was released in white with the same DIM card, and there was a special edition release on Premium Bandai, which included the Impulse City and Ancient Warriors DIM cards for Pulsemon as well as XVmon. A programming upgrade to the Vital Bracelet known as the Digivice-V to tie in with the then upcoming Digimon Ghost Game anime was released. Alongside that, the Vital Bracelet character release of Kamen Rider Kuga, as well as Ultraman Tiga were released with the same programming and a longer wrist strap. Kamen Rider had a special premium Bandai release of a Vital Bracelet with green buttons and the 50th anniversary Kamen Rider logo, as well as a DIM card featuring Showa Kamen Riders. And Ultraman received a similar release with red buttons and a DIM card featuring the 6 Ultra Brothers, also premium Bandai. This same Vital Bracelet was released in English as the Vital Hero. It looks very similar to the first Vital Bracelet, but it actually does use the Digivice-V programming. It was available in black with the Pulse City card. It was released in blue with a new DIM card that is a merger of the Gabumon DIM card as well as the Shadow Howl DIM card, and as well as a red variant that includes a new DIM card that is a fusion of the Agumon DIM card as well as the Black Roar DIM card. So here's my 2 original series Vital Bracelets. So this one is the first release, that premium Bandai one I mentioned. I got this because it came with the Vmon DIM card, the Primal Warriors, and that was the one I wanted to get. But any of the original Vital Bracelets, like I mentioned, don't even bother with these. If you're buying a Vital Bracelet now, don't bother with the original model. All the ones you should be getting if you're looking at this series of Vital Bracelet is any of the Vital Bracelet characters, the Digivice-V, which is the version I have with the symbol there, or the Vital Hero, which is the English version, because this is going to have all your quality of life upgrades. Now, what do I mean? So first of all, you can see that Symbarion Goramon is sleeping there. You can see he's sleeping because he's got these little bubbles. Now, on the previous Vital Bracelet, on this one, Digimon had characters had rest cycles of 12 hours. So when it comes to actually, using this thing, sometimes it'd be like, oh, say you go to the gym at like 8 p.m. You couldn't train your Digimon because your Digimon was already asleep, which is just really inconvenient. So with this, they added a sleep function where you hold down these 2 buttons, and you can sleep or wake up the Digimon so that you're ready to have your adventures. So there are these missions you can do. These missions range from normal missions, like this one was get a vital score of 400, that's already been cleared for the day. And then the hard missions like Dash, which you're supposed to just run, but with a lot of these you can just shake the device. But you can only do each of the exercise challenges once a day to get 1 to 2 trophies, depending on how you do. Now, the app has special missions, which will allow you to get up to 3 trophies for completing a certain goal. And yeah, you need the app to do that, which we'll talk about is a problem in a little bit. And then there's adventure missions where you go through a certain number of steps, and they challenge different battles, and you can unlock Digivolution routes in some DIM cards. So in general, I do like the overall device. I did kind of think, it is a little bit bulky, but in general, as a device, I do think this one works pretty good. But what is, sort of the other thing is that while Bandai has told us that the Vital Bracelet characters don't work, I say this like it's new information. If you see here in the storage section, I have a Kamen Rider backed up, and you're probably like, that doesn't look like a Kamen Rider. I agree, it looks like a silhouette of a person, but this is the 01 DIM card, which if we go to status, you can see it actually does say human for Kamen Rider 01. These are essentially, even though they say that the Digivice, the Digimon ones and the characters being the Kamen Rider and Ultraman aren't compatible, they are. It's just a little bit of a programming difference. Like, for example, this says Digimon on it, whereas, I guess the Vital Bracelet character would say like character or hero or something like that. Yeah, let's talk about what is the future of the Vital Bracelet with the other major upgrade, the Vital Bracelet B. Now, the Vital Bracelet B actually has a couple different variations. First of all, we have the black version and the white version. These include no DIM cards and are just your base model device. But there is an option to pick up Vital Bracelet straps in yellow, white, and moss green, so that if you want different colors, you can swap those out without having to buy a separate device. The first Digimon Vital Bracelet B was the 25th anniversary edition, which was on Premium Bandai, and featured 2 swappable straps as well as covers to make them resemble the original Digimon V-Pet. The DIM card included here would be released separately at retail. There also was the Digivice-VV version, which included the B memory of Gamamon, which included his Mega now, as opposed to the previous DIM card only going up to Ultimate. And we also get a Imperial Dramon DIM if it was ordered within the first shipment, and that is still available at most retailers. There's an upcoming special selection edition of the B that comes with the Dragonic Blaze, as well as the Rampage of the Beast DIM cards and special gold buttons and a special logo. And if you have a Vital Bracelet B, you can get a new band that is modeled after the Digimon Linker from the upcoming Digimon Seekers novel, but this is a premium Bandai set including a Lugamon DIM card. On the character side of things, this time there is a special edition for My Hero Academia exclusive to P-Bandai, even though the DIM card is retail. An exclusive edition of Tokyo Revengers exclusive to P-Bandai, but the DIM card is retail. And a Demon Slayer special edition, which is actually released at retail in addition to a separate DIM card release as well. Demon Slayer is quite popular. So here is the Vital Bracelet B, which this is the Digivice-VV release, which you can see by this strap that is more magenta than red. I thought it was going to be a deeper red just based on how the promo pictures and the show presented as, but it's definitely magenta. Not my favorite color here. But this is the quote-unquote upgraded Vital Bracelet B. So let's take a look at it. So first of all, we can see we got a human sleeping there. It's not a Kamen Rider in training. And the human tracks your overall progress as you have been using it. As you can see, I haven't been using it a lot in the last day or so because I was prepping for this video. But in general, you get kind of like a human to walk around. And I think the reason why they put a character there at all was because they do sell this thing without DIM cards. In general, I do think that the physical part of this is great. So we got a slimmer build. Let's bring in that first model Vital Bracelet. So you can see that it is quite a bit slimmer. The actual strap is quite a bit longer, but we started to see straps this size brought to like the Vital Hero. So yeah, the really small strap on the Vital Bracelet, that's been solved. In general though, there is some weird changes. For example, there's no on-off switch on the back, whereas the previous Vital Bracelet had the on-off switch. You actually have to power this thing on and power it down within the settings. So if you want to turn it off, you have to go all the way down here to power, and then power shuts it down. And so basically it has to go through a whole shutdown cycle, whereas this one you could just turn it off, which has made it easier to kind of reset the clock. But then you have to hold this button, turn it back on. And then it says, there it is, B for Vital Bracelet B. And then we have to wait for it to load, which the other one would flick on pretty easily. There, put the date in, put the time in, there we go. So pretty simple to get it back on. The other improvement I like is, so with this one here, you have the charging slot was on this little rubber thing, and there's your micro, I think it's a micro USB charging slot, and then your DIM card slot was this removable door that I've always been scared to lose. With this one, you've got the rubber slot here, which doesn't clear it as well. I wish it was just a little bit further out because I feel like this is stretching every time I plug in the charging part. But the other part here is that this actual BE memory slot has a rubber cover as well. And this is also the slot to upgrade it, because this thing does have updatable firmware, but you have to use a micro SD card that is 4 gigabytes or less, and all my micro SDs are like over 100 gigs, so I had to get a smaller one to update the actual firmware. But there is a thing you can do. You can download it from your computer onto a micro SD, plug it in there, and it does update the firmware, which is pretty good, because apparently there was a glitch with the Impulse City DIM card trying to use it in here, which made it a little bit difficult. In general though, there is some nice updates, ignoring the battle system, that would be a separate topic. The training, they can be done anytime, as many times as you want. You can cycle through squats, crunches, punches, and dashes as many times as you want. That is a downside, but we'll talk about that as well. So there's a character menu, and what's nice is you can actually have 4 different BE memory characters, so including the human, that's 5. So here is Wormmon, there's a Ultraman, there's Seriousmon, and there is whatever the first stage of the 25th anniversary card is. So let's bring out Wormmon. So we'll back up the human. And what's pretty cool is this means you can actually have up to 4 DIM cards worth stored in the device at once, which means you can swap between them without having to load and reload the DIM card. Now on the previous one, you could only hold 2, so this having 4 is an improvement. So you can see if you go to adventure mode, you actually have the option of going for this one because it's the Imperial Dramon DIM. You also have the Gammamon DIM card is loaded, or the 25th anniversary, and you can send it on any of those adventures, which is pretty nice. But in general, I do like that you have more onboard accessibility. And speaking of, if you go to status, you actually can see the stats. So it's like, here's your battle stats. And if you notice, those green numbers is when you do the trainings, it increases those stats. And then here it shows, your actual vital score, how many battles, percentage won, and the PP up, which we will talk about in a moment. But it shows that this is a locked evolution because we haven't unlocked it in adventure mode, but that in 11 hours at 1500 vital score, 10 battles, 0% wins, and 20 PP, you can evolve him to the next stage, which is Stingmon. But you got to unlock it from the dim at some point with this device in order to do that. And the way you do the adventure mode is you have to go through the battles. Now, here's the problem with this device is twofold. One, we'll talk about the battles as a separate segment, but you're probably wondering, okay, so you see there, running increases battle points, crunches increases hit points, punching increases attack points. But in order to evolve, you have to evolve by doing the squat exercise. And as you can see for Stingmon, which, spoilers, this is Stingmon, you have to do it 20 times. And so the problem is that because it's not doing trainings 20 times, it's specifically the squat exercise, which lasts 20 seconds. And in most cases, I ain't doing squats 20 seconds, but you have to do this for essentially, you have to do this for 20 seconds, 20 times, just to be able to evolve him. And this is what's replaced the trophy system, and I don't like this whatsoever. This is the most tedious thing you could possibly do to get an evolution. And the thing is that, yeah, having to run special missions over and over again to get certain trophies sucks, but you can only get 1 to 2 PP points, which I don't know how else to say it besides PP points, in order to get those points to evolve. So I got 2 from doing that. I have to get up to 20. It is the most tedious thing, and it's the thing I don't like the most about this. So let's check the battle system side by side between the 2 Vital Bracelets. Let's talk about the battle systems. So first of all, both of them have the same battle system in terms of you can actually have it be NFC battles. So let's wake Simbari and Goramon up. So if you have your NFC reader on your phone, you can just tag it, and it'll start a random battle. So you see that's an Angoramon. He's a rookie. Simbari Angoramon is a champion. So let's do the battle here. This is all for science. So you can see he should be technically stronger because he is a champion. He's not got any vital score, but inherently, see, he took out his rookie form in 1 hit. This means that you can kind of go through a lot of battles and you can kind of roll through, and you know that if the level is lower than the one you're currently at, you're probably going to have a good time because he's at 1746 vital score. It's not super high. Now, Wormmon's at 1864 battle score, so that means he's got a lot. But I haven't done any training on him, so let's see if we can get a battle. All right, fighting another Wormmon. That's the lowest level he can fight. Let's see how he does, because he's got a pretty good vital score on him. He just doesn't have any of that extra training going on. So let's see, and look at that. He only does a quarter of damage, but they're about the same level, so that makes some sense, right? So sometimes you get things like this because you don't know what the stats are of the opponent Digimon. But then you see he dodges that attack, and now he's going to launch his super, like his critical hit, and that takes out even more health of Wormmon. But then because I have Pyldramon in backup, he does a support attack, which allows him to get hit twice and be defeated. But if you're running without that support attack, this Wormmon would have defeated my Wormmon, no problem. And that's the problem I've noticed, is that the battle system are not balanced the same. This was kind of easy to go through battles. You can just pick and choose your fights. This one, if you don't have any Digimon in backup, it can be a real problem. And so basically, the thing it comes down to is that your battle system's kind of messed up if you're not running 2 Digimon at once. But let's do a battle with Pyldramon. He has, let's do for the stats check, 4929 vital score. He's a rank A, and I've upgraded his stats by 230 apiece, which was a lot of shaking this bracelet around. So let's see, he's going to do a battle. All right, so Dino Beamon is technically weaker than Pyldramon, but it's still an ultimate, so let's skip that one. Let's just see if we can have him go up against a champion and see how he does. So let's go here. All right, XVmon. That's technically a lower level Digimon. Let's see how the battle goes, because I'm not sure. This could be completely disproving my thesis here. All right, so first of all, Pyldramon's going to attack, and he dodged it. Okay, so then XVmon attacks. Pyldramon gets hit. Doesn't lose too much health because I've boosted his health, but he attacks again. It hits, takes out half the health. Okay, So you see that Ultraman has the hit potential. The thing is that I'm not sure if he's going to win yet, because I've had this where, all right, he's going for the critical hit, launching it, dodged it. And this is the problem, is that there's no way to increase the agility stat on these Digimon. You get like attack points, battle points. I don't think actually AP is agility points, but I don't know, because now he's starting to lose. And then, all right, Wormmon's going to come help him out. So let's see if both of them hit. All right, they hit twice, and then they win. So once again, if it wasn't for that Wormmon in backup, if I was just training Ultraman, he would have lost a fight against a champion, even though his stats are pretty much maxed out for the most part. And so that's the problem I have with the battle system, is that unless you're running 2 Digimon constantly, you're going to lose more than you win, and that's a problem when the requirements for Digivolution require something like 60% wins on 20 battles. Also, for some reason, this is another issue. This is Ultraman Paladin mode. He only requires 15 of the squat exercise, whereas Ultraman Dragon mode, who's technically weaker, requires 20. That's just a pet peeve. But anyways, in general, I think that I enjoy the battles way more on the old device, and the new device makes it a little bit frustrating, though the secret technique is to raise 2 Digimon. Luckily, you can do that with the same DIM card, because you just use the memory function and add it again, but it does mean you have to raise 2 in order to get everything unlocked, or even get to a Mega at this point. And that's a bit frustrating, because it makes it a little bit more chaotic and less straightforward. Speaking of chaotic and less straightforward, let's talk about the apps. So let's look at the 2 apps. This one, the Digital Monster Vital Bracelet Lab, or the Vital Bracelet Characters Lab, there was 2 different apps. This is the app for the original model Vital Bracelet, as well as the Digivice-V. This app I have really loved. It's sort of a backup, because here we have a lineup here. This was really stylish. You could actually change the profile card. So you actually have a profile here. It shows your like win rates, your trophy collections, all this. It shows what DIM cards that you've had and collected. You can also edit the banner, so it's like if you want to have a different look for each DIM card that you own, like if you're training a certain Digimon, you have that option. And then inside the app, there's this cool Digidex function, which shows all your DIM cards that you have, and you can click on any of them, and it shows every Digimon you've unlocked in that line. If you click one of these that are a normal Digimon, you can see their actual reference book art, and then you get a profile of that Digimon. And then it tells you down here the Digivolution requirements to the next levels. The biggest thing was the special missions. The actual special missions would help you get 3 trophies apiece, and also raise the experience points for your overall tamer level. And that was pretty cool. And now the only thing that was kind of a bummer is that everything here, you had a limit to how many you could hold. And so some DIM cards had a bonus where it's like, oh, you get 4 because it's P-Bandai or whatnot. There also was this battle arena, but they've shut it down. There's no battles going on here at all. You can only do a practice battle. And the battle system was pretty straightforward. You had a little meter, you hit stop, and then it would launch an attack. It was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it. Now, the unfortunate part, it says that this app for the Vital Bracelet / Vital Hero is going to be closing on March 13th, 2023 to accommodate the Vital Bracelet Arena app. Which, yeah, that's kind of a bummer, because I really liked this app and I really wanted to keep using this app. And the reason why I don't have any of my Digimon here is because they're saying they're shutting this down. I don't know why they need to shut this down, because I would actually prefer to leave this app running without, you know, the online battle system. That's fine, because this is the only way to get special missions to your Vital Bracelet. Because the other app that they're touting, the Vital Bracelet Arena, is not a good app. I think the Vital Bracelet Lab was pretty good. It was a nice companion piece. I don't think the Arena app is nearly as good. First of all, let's look how long it takes to load. When you get greeted into the Arena app, you have to select what type of device you have. So let's go with Vital Bracelet series, then what type of characters. Let's go with Digital Monster. We'll hit OK. And you have to go through all that just to get the app loaded. And then once you get the app loaded, which takes a minute, yeah, come on, app loading. Then you get, you know, your notices, and then you get the app. And you can see it's just dull. It's really dull. You know, I got my player name up here. There's no profile. You can't switch it for each DIM card. The codex function still works. So if you collect codex as opposed to Digidex, it shows your DIM cards but the order is all out of whack on here, at least for these. They're not in release order, newest to oldest, like on the old app. It's like just kind of random. And then when you click it, you get that, and then you click that, and you get the sprite, not the actual profile art. You still get the actual, you know, profile and the requirements for evolution. And you'll notice that it doesn't mention trophies, but instead PP, because it's assuming that you're using a Vital Bracelet B, which is a problem because I don't think this app integrates well to the original Vital Bracelet. For example, something that's missing from this app is the special missions function. When you go to transfer one of these Digimon to your device, you don't get to load special missions. And also sending, if you hit send, you have to transfer from the Vital Bracelet to the app. And if you actually want to send it from the Vital Bracelet to or from the app to the Vital Bracelet, on the previous one, you just load your Digimon here and you'd select this button, and then you could go app to Vital Bracelet. Pretty simple. But on this one, in addition to having to wait for these screens to load, you have to go to assign. So these are the two I have set. So if I want to transfer, say, Piedmon, I have to hold it down, wait for it to load, and then hit send, which is kind of easy, right? It's fairly straightforward. However, if I want to send Gallantmon Crimson Mode or Emperor Greymon, if I load it up, I can't hit send. What I have to do is select Emperor Greymon, select Imperial Dramon there, go back, hit OK to confirm that that's the assignment I want, wait for it to load all the way again. Still, this is the problem with this app, it's so slow. The other one moves pretty quick. And then I have to go back to assign, again, waiting for it to load once again. Then I get to find Emperor Greymon, select them, and then hit send to put them in the Vital Bracelet. It's kind of just really obnoxious. Now on the plus side, you get unlimited slots. So anyways, you get to this point, you have a win-loss record, which goes to an extra app, also Chiak. You have to click this, and then this will open a tab in your browser that loads the Bandai Vital Bracelet Arena win-loss record. Why? Why is that not in the app? And I guess I should talk about the elephant in the room. This app seems built around online battles, which you can do in real time with real people. Let's click Arena. They never have anything interesting. It's just free battle and training battle. Let's do a free battle, and then random match, and then we wait for it to match us with somebody. Okay, so I'm already bored. Let's move back. Yeah, it takes forever. So let's do a training battle so you can see how the battle system works. We'll do easy. We'll fight 2 Renamons. So like I said on the other one, you wait for the bar to reach up, you hit start, and then it attacks. Here is the training battle, completely offline. This is so we can get an idea of how this battle system works. And yes, this is mostly me just complaining. So pick a Vanguard, so I'm gonna pick Shin Manzaemon as my primary. Flip a coin. Now, this all moves pretty quick when you're doing training, but when you're online, it can take hours. In fact, I actually have never, let's choose attack. You have to select these, which is ridiculous. You have to do numbers in order. Why? I have trouble actually getting the match to finish because you have to do several turns. Like, this thing takes longer than Pokemon battles on mainline Pokemon games, and this is supposed to be an app supporting what is advertised as a fitness device. But usually when you fight people online, they have stronger Digimon. So now it's like, oh, I could use Gamamon to protect. So it works fine here, you know, in practice, but in actual, like, real-life battles, you have to wait, you know, because somebody's sitting there punching buttons 1 to 20, and so you have to wait for it. And then most of the times, because for some reason the server load is always really bad, I found that the app crashes or the game freezes at almost every battle I've done, so I've never actually won a battle online. I've never actually even finished a battle online. And I think the biggest detractor to the Vital Bracelet B is the app. However, since you can pretty much do anything you want on this and evolve your Digimon without the app, it's not a discount on the Vital Bracelet B, but more of a complaint to Bandai in general of, hey, why are you shutting down this app? This one works good. This one sucks. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with the 2 different apps. So which is the best Vital Bracelet? This is going to be a subjective answer, and I don't have a straight yes or no. This one, the Digivice-V / the Vital Hero, is probably the best of the original series ones. I like it. You can have all the dim cards. I mean, there are so many dims. Like, here's the Digimon ones alone, and these aren't even all of them because I don't have room in these cases for all of them. So if you like the battle system in this more, I would say go with it. And if you have this, stick with it. Because you probably haven't gone through all the dim cards. I certainly haven't done everything on it. However, with the app closing, it does make it harder for the special missions. But, you know, the thing is, if you want to get more trophies, all you got to do, if you switch your clock settings, you know, same date, but if you switch the time from, 12 all the way down to 23:59, and you set it, and then you wait for it to kick over from 23:59 to 0000, you know, as midnight for the next day, it'll reset those missions. And then once you've reset those missions, you can do those. So I would say if you have this, or if you're thinking about it, this might be the best option for the ease of usability. Now, if you're somebody that wants to keep up with what's going on in the Vital Bracelet, that's what the Vital Bracelet-V is for. And in terms of which special edition to get or which edition to get, I would recommend just get the one that makes you the happiest. I got the Digivice-VV because I got the Digivice-V. I'm a Digivice collector. These go in my Digivice collection as well as my Vital Bracelet stuff. Though I'm really looking forward to the Digimon linker band because I think I'm going to like the color of that a lot better. And in general, this thing can not only use the B memories, which are these, and these don't have the plastic frames like the original DIM cards did, which is kind of a bummer. But, you know, you can use these, but in general, you can also use this with all of these. So if you're somebody that wants to keep up, like if you want the Megas from Ghost Game, you're going to have to get the B because they're only on the B memory versions of those Ghost Game characters. It's going to be something that if you want to keep up, this is the one to get. If you're okay with just going with a finite amount of DIM cards, this one's great, and I actually think is more fun. If I'm going to use any of the old DIM cards, while I can use the old DIM cards in this, and I can even use the character cards like the Common Riders and stuff, they all work in this one device, that's great. But if I'm going to be using the old stuff, I'd be using this just for the simpler battle system. I win a lot more battles on this than this one, but I'm going to mess around with it some more. It's kind of fun to have a device I don't know inside and out like I do this one, but at the same time, it is a little bit frustrating. So when it comes down to it, which is the better Vital Bracelet? It depends on what you want. Do you want to keep up with, future stuff? Probably just get the B if you don't have one. If you have one of these and are wondering if you should get a B, I don't know. I actually don't think this is that much worth of an upgrade. This is more worth it if you don't have one of these. But if you have one, I don't know, wait to see what they do. I hope they do some updates to the app to make it better. I hope there's more firmware updates and maybe balance the battle system or make me not have to do the squat exercise so much. That's my recommendation. If you got this, stick with it. Just get the DIM cards you haven't tried out if you're looking for new stuff. And if you don't have one, probably go for this one. It's a little bit more expensive, but you're going to get more functionality out of it. And that's pretty much all I can say on the case of the Vital Bracelet versus the Vital Bracelet-V. So there we go, that's my conclusion. I still think there is a lot of worth in the original Vital Bracelet, even if new DIM cards aren't coming out for it. Whereas I do think the Vital Bracelet-B is only going to work for some people because I think that, in general, unless you're trying to keep up with the current stuff, it doesn't work as well if you already have one of these. But yeah, if you haven't gotten a Vital Bracelet, go for the B. It works with everything, it's the better choice. And that's pretty much my conclusion on this. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment down below with any questions or concerns or things that you want to know about it. I'm happy to answer anything. I've been collecting these since they started, so I got knowledge and I'm willing to give it. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for future Digimon and Vital Bracelet videos on this channel. If this one does well, I'll do something else with the Vital Bracelet in the future. Also, be sure to check me out live here on this YouTube channel Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern. We talk about Digimon a lot. Even on days where I don't have a Digimon news topic set up, the conversation about Digimon comes up at some point. It's pretty great, so check that out. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Soundout12. You can find my awesome graphic designer on Twitter at DarkClaw643, and check out Hero Club at hero-club.com for news, interviews, and more. And on that note, until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.